that whole thing was kind of nightmarish, to be perfectly frank.
Oh yeah, a bit. It was a
So
bit.
that having been said,
So if the Quill Foundation had a place that you could, like a room with a built-in
had a
Faraday
torture
cage.
room in it
No,
somewhere.
like a room with a
We
built-in
probably have
Faraday cage or something.
we almost certainly have some environmental containment chambers that can, keep keep a constant atmosphere of a given type, but be sealed in, with pressure locks that would, if you wanted to pump it up full of 600 atmospheres, the room would stay intact. That will probably keep any individual person in place. Um, so we could probably do that at least on a temporary basis. I mean, they're not set up with like feeding slots or stuff like
No,
that, but
no.
we could hold on to someone in some fashion that way.
Certainly.
Uh,
My assumption here is that you have a short-term thing that you need to accomplish, and you have, quite ironically, uh, called up Aegis. Or called up Agent Waters and said, "Hey, I know you were just there, but could you kind of turn around and come back? Because we got somebody for you. Can you, like?" And meanwhile, you have Ghost.
so we are using it as the proverbial holding cell
Literally,
versus
yes.
ha ha ha, we'll be back for you in a week or two.
I, I, I,
An oubliette.
yeah, I truly meant in this case short term, like a half an hour. Um, Link,
So yes, we could do something like that.
Link, do you want to
Just
be?
don't tell Barbara, please.
No, Link, do you want to be sitting across the table from Ghost Heart? He may be muted.
Is there I'm sorry, sitting across the table?
If there's a table in there or something.
Well, if it's an environmental table, I guess there might be some sort of platform or something. But if we're doing this in a way to
Standing in the room with him, something like that.
What?
Link's been invested in wanting to talk to criminal people
No,
after
no.
they've been captured. So I've been.
Doyce, I got the perfect setup for it.
Okay.
There is no table in there,
Hmm?
but there is a Concord.
So you just like inside the room, you then put in like there's like a hamster ball that he's in.
Like no, just like a table, chairs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hanging out with this guy in a containment cell.
Well, like it's
Biohazard room.
but it's a really interesting containment cell. Yeah, it's got all sorts of gauges and detection equipment peppering the inside.
But let
It's
me
brightly
back.
colored.
Let me back for a second. We have this guy on kidnapping. Why don't we just hand him over to the cops?
well, that's the thing. You have about a half an hour before Aegis shows back up.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll babysit him for half an hour then.
That's all. I was just wondering if you wanted to talk to him or anything like that. Well, find out any more information, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like what the hell's your problem? We'll start with that.
Getting a little bit of a weird echo.
I think it's just
Over to my people.
it's probably Bill's mic with the phone set up, that kind of thing. It's a little bit weird. It'll go away when he gets home, I'm sure. Gigi, do you want to be involved in this at all? Like, do you want to be in there? Do you want to observe it from another room, looking at a monitor or anything like that, or do you want to be as far away from this freak as you can?
I'll be remote.
Okay. All right. Harry, what about you?
Okay.
I mean, what do you want to be doing while this is while you guys sort of twiddle your thumbs waiting for Aegis to show up?
I think that I will not be in the room.
Okay. It's fine. You can hang out with Gigi. I think you guys kind of bonded a little bit, so you can kind of be in there providing a little bit of support while this. Concord, do you have to be? You would probably want to be. You'd need to be in the room to kind of do the constructs and stuff.
Well, there's that, and also, Link had asked Concord for helping out with questioning people because of his aura sight.
Oh,
So
good point. Do you just like? I mean, a little bit of furniture. But do you just like sort of divide the room in half with just like a wall? Like a little construct wall just to kind of keep him on the other side.
Mm,
Not that he's in a big hurry to touch people, but
And hold little energy construct telephones so you can speak through the portion.
that's great.
A niche.
It's really funny. A little study carol with a little. I love it. Especially if there's not any of the rest of it. Like there's no glass or anything like that. You just put that right in the middle of the room for them to sit down at. It's like whatever. What's your problem, man? What's your problem, man? My problem, he says, tugging at his gloves, is that luminous creature, while quite miraculous, is not meant for this world. And when she comes in contact with the crude, mundane beings of this world, her quintessence is left on them like star stuff sparkling across mud. And like that thing, diamonds, if you will, diamond dust. And like such a valuable thing, it attracts creatures that are drawn to that substance, to the sparkle. Magpies, I suppose, of the soul, if you will, except not magpies. Magpies the size of elephants. Magpies the size of a thunderstorm. I hold no ill will against her, or even the. And he kind of cringes, like even the people that she is contacting, but they are in danger. They are drawing into this world a thing that must not be drawn here, because once it is here and attracted by the sparkle, it will realize that the true meat that it desires is the walking, talking meat of this city and this world. Right now it lives essentially in ignorance of us, and
He's including himself with humanity. That's nice.
Probably accidentally.
As the man cavorting with demons.
He you know, yeah.
How much of this can you prove?
I have nothing to prove. We merely need weight at this point. I will draw an unflattering analogy. This is a snail's slime trail that never dissipates. And you have it in your home. Eventually everything will be covered in it. Pandemonium will come. It is unavoidable if this contact is allowed to continue. Within certain areas, the cemetery, the graveyard, where it can be isolated, where it can be kept apart from the living, it can be controlled, it can be housed, it can be warded against spreading. But as it is now, and she is not the only one, she is the most active in this space. She's not the only one now. It will come, and it will feed.
Well, when it gets here, we'll punch it too. But until then, why should we believe you and not just think that you're some kind of like crazy person?
Am I not without gifts that demonstrate I have some sense of the barrier between realms? That
there can be crazy supers.
I suppose the sanity check that you require will come again, inevitably. And again, all I need to is wait.
Jason breaks in on the intercom into the
Yeah.
chamber. if what you're saying is true, there should be some way to detect whatever residue that she is leaving. Can you provide any parameters that we could use to actually test for that?
I can sense it.
Yeah, well, we still think you're the crazy guy. So can you provide some parameters that would help us use some sort of instrumentality to detect it?
Are you mystically trained? He's speaking to the ceiling, kind of. Are you there,
Yeah,
God?
his voice is kind of echoing all around the room, so that's as good as.
And he's kind of it's unintentionally comical because he's kind of like, "Are you there? Are you there, God? It's me, Nut Job." Anyway, if you are mystically trained, then yes, I could train you to sense the specific emanations, the if you will, the bandwidth to which this sense or the smell or the taste of it, the essence of it.
Hey, Doyce.
I do not.
Doyce is having too much fun here.
Yeah. Hey, Doyce.
He's kind of Anyway,
would Concord sense any deception from that?
that he can sense it. Ooh.
Well, no, that he could train somebody to sense it.
Why don't you pierce his mask? Why don't you do
That sounds like exactly what I wanted to do.
Let's look at bloop. Love that sound. Oh.
Hey,
Yes, of course, absolutely, he can train someone.
hey,
I would like to contribute a team to his role because Leo has been helping by having him talk. So
Absolutely. No, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. I will take a thank you for. Oh, you know what? I should have added. I added a team at the beginning, so we're gonna. Well, it'll be a wash at 3, since I should have added one in the first place. So you still at 3. Let me look at what that is then.
So,
When you pierce the mask and you get a 7 to 9, ask 1.
So, what is he really planning by telling us that he could train somebody, to detect these?
I think he is earning. He may be crazy. In fact, he's probably no. I shouldn't say that.
He is crazy.
Crazy is a very dismissive term. He clearly is suffering from a number, possibly a high number of neuroses. Many of them. I don't know if there's a phrase for aversion to the human touch. I'm sure there is. I'm definitely
Adrian Monk.
What's that?
Adrian Monk.
Well, I don't mean a specific person. I'm sure there's like an actual name for that particular psychosis or neurological condition.
Haphophobia.
Haphophobia. He's the poster child for that. He's got lots of neuroses. So he may have a lot of neuroses, but he may even be occasionally delusional about some things, but he clearly believes this. He also absolutely believes he could teach somebody mystically or in some way sensitive to these sorts of powers to sense this thing. Gigi would be a challenge in the same way that it would be a challenge to get a fish to like sense water.
Right.
But
the concordance is a maybe.
The concordance is a definite maybe.
Yeah.
Hard maybe.
Okay.
Well, guys, we probably can also touch bases with, there have to be some mystic heroes here in Halcyon City that we could actually get to confirm this in some fashion or another.
Right.
Well, and I'm just gonna lean over to Link and just be like, he's showing red. It's he ain't lying about it.
I think that's just blood from when Harry hit him.
No. Aura.
We're going to hit him anyway.
Oh, he strikes you. Now he may be crazy. Lots of people believe they're doing good and might be serial killers. He might even be one of those people in certain circumstances, but he's one of those particularly annoying villains, of which Halcyon City seems to have more than its fair share, who honestly believe that they're doing a good thing and just doing it in a very bad way.
I actually have a question for him then that'll hopefully settle that.
Okay, what do you got?
All right, so you can sense these things all well and good.
Mm.
If we put several tainted things and a few untainted things in some boxes, I'm sure you could establish which of the boxes has the tainted things. All well and good. This pandemonium thing that you think is coming, though. Why do you think it's coming if it hasn't been here yet?
There's a prophecy. I had to think about that for a second. And the signs have been growing clearer and stronger. Now you're definitely.
But have there been portents to go with the signs?
Prophecies and portents. What's the difference there? I'm a little bit clear. There, for the last several years, the signs of this occurrence have been growing stronger and stronger, more unavoidable. There have always been small. He thinks it's a lot funnier than it really is, but he smirks as though he's making quite a good joke. Breaches of the peace, if you will, that I have sought to control since I gained my abilities, or sought to keep under control since I gained my abilities. But
how did that happen?
That is a. Do you say that so that he asks, or so that he hears, rather?
Either that, or so that our people hear.
Yeah.
To gain your powers.
But the spiral, the spiral of this has grown far stronger in the last 19 months.
I lean over to Mercury and say, "You don't think it maybe has something to do with all the friggin' demons he's all of the awful demons that he's raising and binding?"
No, it's probably just global warming.
Nice. Technically, and you got this very strong sense, Gigi, that what he's doing overlaps somewhat with the demons thing. The demons overlap somewhat with the space that you sort of pass through for like the shadows and stuff like that. But he's not pulling in ghosts. It's a different. Wherever you come from, and that whole question is kind of hazy, even to you.
Right.
Wherever you're originating from, ultimately you are somebody who was from here, left here, and came back here. They're definitely from someplace else. And whatever energy they might have with them, I mean, you could make, I mean, this is, they're not like you. One might almost say that they're antithetical to you in some way. So whatever, yeah, I mean, could be. He sees himself as some sort of guardian of the barrier between the living and the dead. Hence his rather weird name.
And
demons are something else.
The demons are just a tool that he uses, and isn't stirring the pot at all.
I have control over it. It's all good. There's no problem here.
The demon thing, that's a whole different prophecy he's bringing to. No, I'm kidding. Signs, portents, prophecies, and the fact that he, and you can't help but think. I mean, given what you know of Ghost Girl's background, what he's according to him is, things have gotten a lot more portenty since about the time that the whole thing happened that rousted up quite a number of the spirits in the cemetery there. That the whole fight between, and this makes a weird kind of sense, but certainly that fight between, the Earth's Magus and Dr. Infinity had a lot more effect than just the hilltop in the cemetery. There was a lot of blowback from that. I don't remember. I have it written down, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Whether that happened not long after or not long before all the mess that happened with Jason's dad, but it was in that state. The last 2 years have been a bit of a mess. Anyway.
So really, he's attributing a causal effect when it may just be inferential.
Well, he's seeing a lot more activity. That
If he's implying that it has to do with the ghost when it could be,
Well, no, I mean the only thing that leaves the residue from his point of view is spirits from the others, from spirits of the deceased. That's what leaves the residue that he's detect, or that leaves that taints the living or colors them or leaves the diamond dust. However, it's actually more creepifying than he's saying weird things about you. He's actually weirdly complimentary of you as a being. This luminous creature leaving diamond dust wherever she touches, blah blah blah. It's weirdly stalkery creepy.
Tainting the humans though, but
Yeah,
hey.
Yeah, I mean, the effect is negative, but when he talks about you, it's weirdly nice. And he doesn't do nice without it being kind of ugh, at the same time.
So, yeah, he'll just sort of be like, well, he thinks he's telling the truth. There's a lot of hatred and cravenness, but not any deceit.
If you read auras, I might be able to instruct you, young man.
Lucky you.
He's extending the gloved hand.
Adam, I don't think that's going to be necessary, Adam.
No. Extend the glove hand, and then all of a sudden, that's where the window just sort of like pops into place, and like, no.
I might be able to instruct you, bonk. Yes. Well, perhaps another time then.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Like we have a couple of people who have maybe not necessarily like traditional superpowers on the team, and that's fine. We have like Jason Quill, the Mystic Master, whose power is to make all fun in the room disappear. But Adam, don't. I'm just gonna say like keep it in mind, but not just like accept this guy's word on it. We should find somebody who knows this stuff and is not crazy.
Sure.
Exactly. No. Like Concord's just gonna be like as he's saying all that, it's kind of like that like this dude's crazy look on his face, like he when he's like admitting that it's like, well, he thinks he's like right.
There's some there's retired folks, retired supers. There's sure the Gales could probably hook you up with somebody who's currently active, but there's certainly retired folks around who might have that kind of background.
I would just as soon not get Aegis involved, but I'm sure they would actually have some sort of resource of that sort.
The Kent, what was the guy's name who used to be the host for
Kent Nelson?
Kent Nelson. I'm sure there's a Kent Nelson floating around somewhere. A retired member of some other legacy.
Only Ed Asner gets to voice him.
Oh God, so good. Anyway, although to be fair, I think what DC did that was even better than using Ed Asner to voice Kent Nelson was using Ed Asner to voice Granny Goodness.
Oh, absolutely.
Best thing ever. Anyway, best thing ever. Anyway, about the same time that he's like, I could instruct you, you get like a notification, another screen that pops up, and you see a camera that's showing the front entrance of Quill Industries, and there's Waters there, and he's rather uncomfortably fronting, looks like two more, you swear to God they dress to look like the agents from the Matrix, but two more agents wearing sunglasses at night, and a couple more guys in like sort of riot gear.
Matrix or Men in Black?
No, Matrix. They're with the weird little silvery like earpieces and that kind of thing. But there's like five guys. Waters is there, and he kind of sort of does a like sort of half friendly, cheerful wave at the camera. Like he times it.
I'll go up and walk him in.
The other two agents are not smiling. He waves, and you see them kind of track to where the camera would be, and they're not smiling.
I'll let him know that I'm on my way up.
The only thing he says on
Through
the
the little
intercom,
Or the
yeah,
door.
the speaker. He's like, I didn't expect to be back so soon. I barely had time to finish all my paperwork for the day. It's good to hear from you, Mr. Quill.
It's good to be heard from.
Now, it's a small camera, and they're a little bit far away from the security camera, but you're absolutely positive their non-smiles of the other two agents become even more non-smiley when he mentions finishing the paperwork.
Like, just in time?
Just in time to make us have to come and pick this guy up and treat you guys like regular people. So yeah, they come in. Again, he says basically the same thing. His tie is a plain black, narrow nylon tie of no import, and
So it's domestic.
it's domestic, and no import. Oh, really? Really? Wow. Oh my God. Anyway, and he's like, all right, so if you show me to Ghost Heart, we'll be happy to get him to. We're gonna probably hold him tonight at the Spike, and then we'll get him out to Kill Devil tomorrow, if that suits. I guess it's not really up to you, but just thought I'd check, let you know.
As long as you keep hold of him, we're more than happy.
Oh, we have, and the two guys in the riot gear have basically like, the sort of the collars on sticks that they use for like catching wild dogs, except with some extra high-tech additions and stuff. Disrupts psychic emanations, powers of that nature, that kind of thing. It's not so much that it keeps them from using it, but it really, really disrupts them if they try to. So we should be able to keep him.
Really hurts.
We should be able to, encourage him to behave. He doesn't have any mind powers that we've been able to track, and we've had him. We've had our eye on him. Good on you for bringing him in. Well done. Yes, well done, Mr. Quill.
So
Well done, Mr.
Mr. Quill. I'm not gonna do him, but anyway.
Are we just leaving Jason to be like the only one talking to these guys?
If you want to, you certainly can.
Well, he's the one that went up to buzz them in.
They rang the door on his house, so
No, I'm perfectly fine letting Jason take the government duties.
yeah. I mean, so what'd you have?
They're appropriate for polite
think-
women to deal with the gendarme.
Yeah. What'd you have, Adam?
I think Concord's gonna wheel out a Ghost Heart like Hannibal Lecter.
Like the energy construct, like hand truck plus.
Yeah, with the
Nice.
muzzle and everything, and
It
just sort of
doesn't-
wheel him out to.
I mean, the muzzle doesn't actually do anything. He can still talk through it. It's like he's walking out and like doing the whole thing, and everyone just kind of looking at this thing, and he's like, you set him up straight, and he kind of rocks a little bit. He's like, in all honesty, this is
Is that
absolutely.
really necessary?
In all
Dude, I
honesty,
had no idea you'd watch Silence of the Lambs.
in all honesty, this is completely unnecessary.
Makes me feel more comfortable.
Oh yeah, we should make sure that somebody is touching him at all times. It drains his powers.
Oh, brutal!
That is
Brutal!
absolutely. I will be good if you please don't do that.
Jason looks at Water as Ghost Heart makes that comment. Jason looks at Waters and kind of like raises his eyebrow, like, yeah, just what you'd expect him to say, right?
There's no reason to be unnecessarily cruel. Anyway, they get the collars on him.
Yeah, but we're
and-
teenagers.
It's absolutely true. So they get the collars on him and kind of frog walk him out of there. They kind of have
What
like
happened to a nicer guy?
they sort of have like sort of Mylar slash Faraday cage kind of oven mitt sort of things that they put on there. They're not like
Are they blue?
they don't put them in hands of blue. Silvery gray. Okay. So what now? that was an evening. You get a Link. You get a DM from Pony. You know, I kind of rushed out of there. Rushed out of the car when you dropped me off, but you know, thank everybody. It was real cool. Haven't been rescued before. Kind of okay not having to be rescued again in the future, but you know, still pretty awesome. So
glad to have provided quality service.
Going to
I guess.
gonna go crash now and you know, go through a little bit a little and enjoy a little PTSD or something like that.
Do you need an escort home?
No, this is her sending a text to him.
Oh, okay.
Like after she I'm just skipping past the part where Otto and Link and everybody kind of, you know,
Okay.
there's a little bit of handshaking and back patting and, you know, hugging Gigi and stuff, and then she kind of piles into Otto and is, you know, can I give you a ride home? And she looks at Otto, is like, yeah, sweet, sure. Like kind of snaps her out of the ride. She's really running a ragged line from what you saw of, you know, I was kidnapped by an incredibly creepy dude and strapped in a dentist chair, you know, or a chair. Actually, dentist chair was downstairs, but and had a really kind of weird traumatic experience, and also abducted by an incredibly creepy dude who was not the other creepy dude who was in charge, and kind of this sort of
And girl squee.
well, a little bit of young girl squee, and a lot more like just sort of, you know, street savvy and a bit of an online hacktivist kind of thing. So she's had a bit of a shock to the system, but at the same time she's, you know, she'll probably be fine to a couple days, mostly fine, 90% fine. She's not going to be in a hurry to walk home by herself anytime in the near future, though, because, you know, that's where it all started. So, Gigi, what do you do? Ghost Girl, what do you do? Or what do you all do?
Yeah, I'm
I
really
sent you a
disturbed by
text, by the
this,
way.
but I'm thinking that what I want to do is sort of, you know, help find an expert on this. Try not to feel like this actually might be true, and that, you know, I'm going to lead to the destruction of the universe.
Not the universe, just one world.
Not like I have a doom track.
It's fair. It's fair. It is late. What are you thinking in terms of asking about like do you want to jump right on this? Do you want to like what's your move in terms of that? Not late. It's, you know, late evening. It's late if you're Adam. He is well past curfew.
I'm glad you didn't say bedtime. Adam is glad you didn't say bedtime.
That would have been, yeah, that would have been pretty bad. But
It's definitely bedtime.
Parents will understand that the city needs saving. Between the hours of 7 a.m. and
8:30 p.m.
I feel like
8 p.m. if there's tests the next day.
it's like the rules for student drivers in South Dakota. You know, you can be out from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. and anytime after, you know, outside of those hours, you have to be rescuing the city with a hero who's at least 18 and older and approved by your parents or your parents. And they have to be with you at all times, you know. But during daylight hours, ostensibly daylight hours, you can be rescuing the city on your own. I don't think anybody qualifies right now to be a chaperone, a car chaperone.
rated R
That's a-
movie.
none of his parents wouldn't condone this at all.
Rated R movies. Are you kidding? Adam can't do PG-13 technically.
And yet
Hey.
somehow he knows exactly what the Hannibal Lecter hand truck looked like.
He's very into good cinema. He's really into good cinema and theater. Anyway, and his mom doesn't know.
That he's into theater?
That he's no. That he saw Silence of the Lambs.
That'd be a terrible secret to keep. It's
Wow.
like desperately covering up the Les Mis posters in your room. You're like, oh. No.
She knows I'm a superhero. She doesn't know I'm in the drama club. Shut up.
Nerd.
That would be really funny, actually. Isn't that one of your commitments as the Janus? Oh, to catch everybody up, Concord has been reimagined not as a Nova but as a Janus. So his thing is a lot more about the secret identity now than it is about the powers going wildly out of control. Because honestly,
they never really did go out of control.
Well, we haven't given it a lot of time to, but honestly, a lot of the groundwork that you laid is a lot more rich in terms of balancing your superhero life with your mundane life.
It's more the Ms. Marvel kind of thing.
Yes. I'll take Miss Marvel as an example. Honestly, yeah. I mean, there's even kind of the family backgrounds similar.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good stuff. Anyway, so Gigi, did you want to try and do something now? Sit around and talk about it? Go to the library? I mean, you can pretty much peruse the books at your leisure when you can walk through the walls.
Also, none of the guides would be in the library.
That's handy. Don't have to worry about librarians shushing you when there's no one else there and the place is closed.
But if we go sneaking into the library and spot her in there, she might do that really scary face thing at us. And then there'll be funny piano music and we'll go running out of the front of the library.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's not breaking and entering for her. It's just entering. There's no breaking required. It's just
phasing and entering.
It's just trespassing.
It's just trespassing. And is it really trespassing if it's a public building?
Yeah.
Yes. No hesitation. Absolutely. It is absolutely trespassing. What do you think, Ghost Girl?
I don't want to be alone right now.
That seems good.
I have a bit of the Wiggins, so if the others are gonna hang here and talk, I'll stay here. Otherwise, I'll in some place that has people at it.
Yeah. Link, you said something a little bit earlier. You were going to send a message back to her or to Power Pony?
I just had like a short, brief conversation. I actually said I sent a private message to you in Roll20.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm walking around here. This is my headset has.
I'm cutting off your freedom now. Just
decoupled me from my. Oh my God! You guys are posting games and I missed it.
Don't let your new freedom go to your head.
Yeah, really. On task.
Other than that, I mean, if it's a school night, then Link is going to retire sooner or later. But
yeah,
like, he kind of still on edge, so he might just kind of burn that off for a while. So
yeah.
That they're not waterproof.
To answer your question, Bill, what is the triumphant? What's the text on the triumphant celebration for the bull?
It's on his move sheet if you want to look at that at any time. Basically, when you share a triumphant celebration with someone, make them your lover or rival immediately to mark potential. If you're there already, then take influence and mark potential. It feels like I kind of renewed both of those relationships with both of those guys. Like the conversation with Jason felt very like adversarial, but eventually like resolved itself. And the conversation with Adam very much felt like the supportive older brother kind of thing. So it felt like it was doing that.
And there's no real description of what the triumph. It's some of them they say like triumphant celebration. You're supposed to share something or say something or anything. Is it not worded that way for the bull?
Not for me, no. But
okay.
I think I shared a shitload anyway. So it's like
no. I think it's no, and it's. I mean, I will refer this. Do you feel like that was for both of you, Jason and Adam? Does that feel like the conversation that you had with Link feel like a good post fight, post conflict kind of It may not always feel like a victory, but like a post fight breakdown, conversation bonding thing. I say it that way. I think it's kind of obvious.
Yes.
Yeah. Then yes, by all means, count those. And you managed to do it with both of them, so go you.
And that pushes me over the top.
Yay! Sweet. Speaking of which, for those of you who, this is actually not a bad time to do this. Take a look at, this is actually a perfect time to do this. Grab your playbooks if you have, Link has obviously done it already. And take a look at what the Triumphant Celebration versus Share of, what's the other one? Share of Vulnerability?
Share moment of weakness.
Opening up.
Moment of Weakness. Yeah. And see if any of those seem like an interaction that you have had or would like to have as like the next thing that happens with everything that's been going on. Because I feel like this is a really good opportunity to do that.
Ooh. I got mine.
Yeah, read it to me. What do you got?
Oh, so my celebration. When you share a triumphant celebration with someone, ask them if they see you as the person wearing the mask or the person underneath.
I like it, but I don't know that it happened with Link. Did it happen with Link? I don't remember.
No,
I would say it happened indirectly, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I had my opening up move with Link most definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I told him a secret about who I really am during that whole conversation we had.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, I would give him influence and then shift my mundane up and my savior down.
What's your what's the label that you're? I was assuming that the label for your identity was savior.
It totally is, because defending is everything about Concord.
That's what I figured it was. You and Harry kind of have that in common, I think, at least right now.
Geez. Hold on. I may have indirectly triggered like 3 of my moves.
In which scene?
In the scene with Link.
Okay. Well,
because when you spend time talking to somebody about your identity.
Yeah, that was definitely happening.
Uh-huh.
Take a look at that. You take a look at that because you weren't technically in that playbook yet. So I'm not saying don't do it, but let's see what everybody else wants to do while you're analyzing that. Is it all like? It's not all potential generating stuff, or is it some other thing?
Only one of them can.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, 2 of them can.
We'll see what's. I don't want to just get you in the playbook and then have a whole bunch of stuff change on top of the playbook changing, because that would be a little weird. But I don't want to rob you either. Ghost Girl, since you don't want to necessarily be alone, did you see one of those share a vulnerability thing, or like talking about your worries about what if this is actually true kind of thing? Is that seems like a share a vulnerability kind of thing? I don't know how it's worded for you.
Yeah, and actually I was thinking like previously, I forgot about this, but when I shared about how I was afraid of the way that the scream, that was me, that
oh yeah
was part of me, so
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely would probably really want to bounce that off of somebody. And the do you think he really could be right? Am I a danger to you? Kind of conversation, depending upon who's still here.
Well, yeah, there's some people who aren't going anywhere necessarily. And honestly, Harry'd be a great one to have that conversation with, since you guys, I think, ended up sharing, like, giving each other influence at the end of the last session. He's a great person to talk to. When you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, they tell you what you should do to, well, I don't know about fit in more, but it still kind of relates to that. If they give you any advice, and you decide to follow it, you take a +1 forward on that, and you mark potential if you at whatever point you decide to try that, you mark potential.
Okay.
So, and that's I don't. So we'll Harry, what did you have anything in particular that jumped out at you with regards to those triumphant celebration or vulnerability moves or anything like that?
At the moment, no.
I might stage up then a conversation between you two in just a second, but first I want to see. So I'm assuming Link's headed back because it's a school night. Adam, what are you? Is it a school night for you too, since things are winding down?
I think so.
So
And he does need to get home and actually like do some homework before school and that sort of stuff.
yeah.
Hilarious.
Okay. So what? Before I get on, because
We're not hearing you, dude.
I want to do something with Jason too. So give me just a second here.
I was gonna say I was offering everybody, since we're all kind of standing around there, there's like sodas in the fridge and chips up in the cabinet next to it. Any kind of flavor chips or sodas you want. Because somebody thinks that my kitchen needs to be stocked with chips and soda. So have some chips and soda.
And that might be where we put Ghost Girl and Harry in a second. Jason, do you have? I am picturing somehow for Jason the burning desire to get in front of a terminal and do some more digging on.
I've got
stuff.
so many burning desires to do in front of terminals that I should probably bow out to go do that.
Yeah, it's like once you know that
I've got like six things in the Trello board that are associated with that.
Okay, so once you know that people are kind of squared away and or heading home, you can kind of like, I'm just gonna go kind of in this next room. I'm within shouting distance, but I'm just gonna look some stuff up real quick.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And as far as the
triumphant celebration vulnerability thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we had a triumphant celebration. I think I would say that the conversation with Link.
I really feel like that counts as sharing a vulnerability.
Yeah, vulnerability or weakness. So when I do that, I give them influence over me.
I think that was already done, but go ahead.
Yeah. And I guess, although it's funny because it doesn't really say it related to, it doesn't directly associate with the Doom thing, but it says, and ask if they honestly think there's hope for you.
Yeah, it doesn't say it specifically the Doom thing.
It doesn't say specifically about the Doom thing, and basically Leo was actually kind of encouraging that, yeah, Jason, I really think you can not be an asshole. So I think that means there's hope for me.
I think that's true too. So what does that do?
That lets me either mark potential or clear a box off my Doom track.
All right.
And since I'm plummeting towards my Doom at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and mark potential on that, which I will have to wait until I've actually taken my
because your Doom tracks,
which I have not done yet.
Your Doom track is
my Doom track is full to do another one. I haven't figured out which one yet. That's what I'm doing while everybody else has been talking, and I'm also figuring out my advance since my potential was full as well at the end of last round.
Right. And there's so many options. I'm fine with you not getting the as long as we're not.
No, I'm absolutely doing the Kirby Craft.
Are you? All right.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. I didn't need you to.
No, it was brilliant. I mean, because I had just gone and grabbed one of those flying discs. I would love to have that as kind of how Jason gets into battle, aside from trying to use his nanobots to run really fast or other things like that, which he could do, but
if you're going to call out, if you're going to make it an homage character, then by all means, like let's.
Absolutely. So I just need to decide. Need to decide on the strengths and weaknesses.
Sure. Okay. Just to let you guys know, I'm doing a quick thing with the character sheets so that, and there's only one way to do this, but I'm changing it so that everybody can see the real character sheets and the actual character sheets and stuff, and shift people if everybody's basically got edit rights on the character sheets. Please use that with caution, but and respect. But I think it makes it a lot easier to do the end of game like shifts if it comes up. And also to be able to look at somebody's character sheet and say, oh, now that I'm able to see their stats, I can say that I would shift this and shift this other thing.
Honestly, I think it was a little more honest if we couldn't see that, but that's up to you.
If you guys would prefer, I can switch it back. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been relatively easy to kind of think about that just in terms of the specific effect for the specific event.
Well, in that case, I will move it right back. It's absolutely no big deal. All right.
I mean, people are taking conditions because of it, but that's actually kind of entertaining.
Occasionally. Okay, so potential there, and Jason's working on this thing. What were you going to ask me, Margie?
Kurt, if you needed a lift home.
Say that. I'm sorry, I missed the first couple words of that. Say it again.
Need a ride home.
Oh. Does Adam need a ride home? Adam, do you need a ride home?
He was leaving.
I think Adam needs a ride home.
Do you?
Well, unless he can. Well, he's not afraid anymore.
Or I could give him a ride home.
You have 2 supernatural powers that could get you home.
But if he's not allowed to fly after hours.
No, I think Adam can go home. Now, if somebody wants to go with Adam to his house so that, like, they're making sure he gets home safe because he's the little kid. Feel free.
Only something that Charlotte would do.
I didn't want you to worry, Mom, so I decided to come home with the ghost. So.
Well, you wanted to make sure that the older kids were taking care of me, so that's why Charlotte's looking after me.
She's absolutely the oldest.
Older than you, Mom.
She's over 18. She's taking really good care of me.
Way over 18. Older than you are, Mom.
I'm not sure I want a woman much older than 18 taking good care of you. Unless it's your mother.
Okay, I thought Charlotte was staying to talk to Harry, but if she's gonna head on with him, that's fine too. Totally fine, obviously.
I can actually do both because I was just gonna zip him home and zip back.
Okay. All right. Well, he can fly now.
I felt like Aaron would. Okay, so because I was like, well, he had to take the bus here, so I didn't want him like riding the bus home at night.
Technically, he didn't have to take the bus home. He thought he was going to, and then he accidentally teleported. But that's neither here nor there. I think I've got everybody sorted out in terms of permissions again. So anyway, okay. We'll get back to your conversation then. You guys you're escorting Concord home. Link's heading out. Harry's he heard chips and soda, and is gonna. I mean, because he can get home really quick if he needs to. Do you guys have any Concord and Ghost Girl? Do you guys have any like big conversation or anything on the way home, or is it just making sure he gets home and awkward hug at the door or anything like that? Or I can get actually a conversation with the mom, which would be awesome.
That would actually be funny.
Okay, we can do that.
Now, do you explain anything about the home life, Adam? Because arrivals can be a little bit tricky when you're coming home with somebody powered, given your sister.
Yes. However, I bet the sister has been put to bed already.
Yeah, but I mean, she's got ears like a fox bat. It's ridiculous. So I just want to know how you brief Ghost Girl on this situation.
Well, I think that's like one of those things where it's like after we get back to the house, it's like land on the porch, and then Adam like turns off the Concorde, and there's just like, all right, thanks for taking care of me, Gigi. And he kind of like gives her like, that guy was a jerk. There's nothing wrong with you. You're the best. That sort of like pep talk. And then I think while he's talking to her, like there, that's probably a good time for Mom to like open
For the
door.
porch
It's
light
like,
to come on and the door to
Yeah.
open.
yeah, it's like, you know, I have no idea what Adam's middle name is, but every mother needs to like yell out the full name whenever whenever the kid comes home like late.
When Catherine was very young, yeah, we used to have a
Really?
song.
Are you not supposed to tell this story?
But she really, really, really dislikes it when we use her middle name, even when we're not mad at her.
Well, yeah, there's an
just leave it at
association
that.
there.
And we're not gonna use it now because I don't want anybody to pick on my players, even their parents, any more than they absolutely deserve, which is probably still fair. Before the mom comes out, or maybe as mom comes out, I think that simple little statement, "There's nothing wrong with you. You're awesome," is a comfort or support. So, Adam, would you roll a mundane for me?
I will. Let's see.
Oh my God, man!
Hey, these are the roles you want.
Yeah, it's true. So Mark potential again.
I haven't marked potential yet.
You
We
should
never
have.
did any of those moves.
You did the mundane to pierce the mask.
Yeah, and then Link bumped it up to a 7.
Oh, that's right. Bumped it up to 7.
Mhm.
And yeah, Ghost Girl can't use team to bump this up far enough to succeed. Comfort support. And you hit to hear you. So I mean, he means well, Gigi, but it's just
For a girl.
it just doesn't. It's oh my God. How
Or mom comes out early and interrupts the speech.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that's true. I mean, she
In the
doesn't.
same way.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah,
you
Adam's
know,
like, I think you're great. Just as Mom opens the door and is
and here's what happened. I think you're great.
gives her a hug.
You're awesome. And Mom comes out and lets out an absolutely unfiltered shriek of fright. And it's probably a jump scare. It's not like Gigi looks particularly scary right now, but under the porch light, she wasn't expecting the person, and
Being translucent.
and vaguely translucent because it's kind of have to be when you're flying, and she shrieks, and it's just one more. It's the little mom-shaped straw on the camel's back. She makes apologies. She's babbling stuff about, "You've done such good things for my son. It's so nice to see a strong young woman out there defending." She's just babbling stuff, but what you hear from in this was the shriek.
Mom, you're embarrassing Gigi.
And that gut reaction that she has to that first glance of you. And it kind of takes, I mean, Adam absolutely meant what he said, and it was really sweet, and it all kind of blown away by that punctuation mark of that Mom provided.
Well, yes, especially coming on the heels of what went on at the pike. The
Yeah.
The
Point.
point.
The point. Yes, the point. Yeah, coming on the heels of all that, it just stings. What I missed something.
That's your
Concord.
toggle.
Adam instinctively transforms into Concord at the sound of Mom's scream.
I love it.
But your force field will not protect you from a thrown slipper anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Really doesn't. Let me look at character sheets here. Oh man.
I'm really gonna have to go and.
I want to give Concord guilty for that, but he already has guilty.
So there we go.
Well, either that or I was going to give Gigi hopeless. I think because he's already guilty and he already feels about as bad as he can feel about this kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna have to. I think because it was. Oh, that sucks because. Oh man, just can you take guilty twice because he rolled the 6, but you're getting the condition.
Oh, I'm sure that we'll return the favor at some point.
Okay, so mark hopeless, GG, and head back to Quill.
Would it be hopeless or insecure?
She's already insecure.
Already insecure.
And she's already
Oh
guilty.
man.
She's rocking 3 conditions right now.
Sorry, Margie. I tried to take care of one of them.
Hey, but you know what? You're instead of getting rid of one of your conditions, you're up one. But hey, on the upside, at least he got potential. So.
Hey, wait, can the ghost die?
No.
Of embarrassment?
Taking all the conditions does not kill you in any case. It takes you out of the scene, kind of thing. So honestly, I could have filled up her bar, and it just would have been fine if she fled shrieking into the night. You're taken out in some way.
As she goes.
You're taken out in some way, whether you flee or are knocked unconscious or captured or whatever.
And so now I have to decide which I want to clear tonight. What stupid thing I want to do tonight.
Well, you certainly can clear it that way. Whether you decide to clear something on the way back to Quill Enterprises, or you talk to Harry first and then decide to do something, crazy and irresponsible to clear it.
See, I was kind of doing this to lead towards clearing the insecure by doing something stupid without talking to the team. So continue with that.
Okay.
Who knows, I might even get to clear the guilty too.
What's guilty? Discard this card at the end of a scene if you make a sacrifice to absolve your guilt. Oh dear. Oh dear. I am intrigued and terrified all at the same time. I love these sheets. Okay. So yeah, Gigi kind of just quickly, like, she sort of shakes her head and doesn't really say anything and kind of flies off into the night. We'll get back to her in just a second. Your sister could wake back up. Get out of those clothes.
It's just sort of like pops back into his normal clothes. It's just like, Mom, Charlotte was just being nice.
She's a very nice girl, and I'm sorry that I yelled, but it is very late and you have homework to do. Are you all right?
I'm all right, Mom.
Did you protect the city?
I did.
Then it was probably a fine night. Your father has a night shift tonight, and he is out protecting the city as well, so it is up to you and me to get your homework done and not wake up your sister.
Okay. It's just like, he's kind of like just doing that sort of slumped over, defeated look of a little kid. And it's just
Stand
like,
up straight. Good posture. Good posture costs nothing. There is soup on the table.
Thanks, Mom.
Don't lick the tin foil. I hate when you do that.
Dragging your feet now.
Okay. Jason, what are you working on?
That's a great question. Well, I have been working on my advances, which I just
which is fine.
Messaged.
Okay, let me look at that.
What am I working on my list of many things that I wanted to get done? Let me pull up. Where the hell is Trello?
Wait to fit more angst into one day.
Yeah, there's not nearly enough angst in a single day. Well, I know one thing that I have to do because I promised that I was going to do it, even if the timeline here is a little bit
wonky,
cattywampus. Is I need to finish. I need to pull out that 3-ring binder and dump the data from that's in the airlock sandbox
right
into the Quill Foundation computers.
Okay.
I'm kind of in a hurry, so it talked at some point about the data all needs to be carefully vetted and stuff like that. Is there something specific that it advises about how to vet it?
The only reason that it's been on this airlock thing is because Brian Quill hasn't been around.
Okay.
So it's not normally, especially quarantined, aside, there's already defenses in place for most of this stuff. It's just that it's been kind of, it's like end of month. It's just one of those things that he's not there to okay things when he's in another dimension. These things kind of go on hiatus. It's just he's been gone for a while. So there shouldn't be any major untoward.
Well, I had some concerns about stuff that might have, that there might have been information that was infecting things and so forth related to this whole thing with the Virtovian.
The data checks out. And you can also flag all of this stuff as you can attach an orange or a yellow flag to it, and as it's stuff that happened during this period, so that if you start to see data that is consistently coming up, that's all because of that it all seems to be tying back to yellow flag data, to be suspect to it. So you can still
exactly.
You don't want
so
you won't lose it in the mess, is what I'm saying.
I will do that, and then just push the button saying add all records.
And honestly, if the yellow flag stuff starts causing other stuff that wasn't yellow flag to be yellow flagged, you have a problem.
Yes.
Maybe too late by that point in time, but you have a problem. Okay.
And Byron says, "I'm sorry, Jason, I can't do that. I know I have a problem too." So
you have a number of problems. What was another thing? That's fairly quick to do.
Yeah, that's fairly quick. Let me close the.
I love the idea that Jason actually has an in-character Trello board for all of his stuff he needs to do.
Yeah,
not nearly as well organized as ours, but
okay, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Here's that stuff. Casual team shenanigans. That was not mine.
No. You could look at the.
Oh, you know what I need to do? You know what I need to do?
What's that?
This is also not advanced in the game, and it's not anything that's going to hit my Doom track. I need to kind of do the setups around. Oh my God, we're going to be the menagerie, so I need to make sure that the marketing group is buying up all the domain names and just kind of stuff like that, so that we don't end up with. Something untoward.
So yeah,
too late. I already bought it. What's it worth to you?
So
menagerie.team. And so I'm actually going to try to think of all of the potentially weird or embarrassing variations on the domain that that people might buy up and do stuff with, which is a Mooks game, because people are always going to be more imaginative. But so I'm gonna buy up all the
that is the most important thing that you can do with your time.
All the variations of
he prefaces
menagerie à trois and
now listen, he prefaces by saying it was not advancing the game or in fact helping the team or his Doom track at all, but he's still doing it, and that's okay. You know what though? I'm going to threaten you with a rabbit hole on this and have you when you scroll up and down your hashtag for hours or after making a scene, roll superior and see what the internet is saying about you. Because I think it's adjacent to that.
Ooh,
no, that would make perfect sense.
So
superior?
Roll superior.
Oh
dear. Oh Jason.
Oh,
Hold
night.
on, Jason.
Wow.
Use those team points selfishly.
What does that do? Remind me what that is. If you use your team points selfishly. Where's that at? It's in.
It's a peripheral move.
Peripheral moves, conditions, shifting labels, influence.
Say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates. Remove one team from the pool. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice. You can use this option after rolling to alter your labels you're rolling with.
Oh, it only shifts the labels though. It doesn't actually change the roll.
No, because you change your labels.
Oh, I see. So you could move your superior up to. Oh God. Well.
So maybe the answer here, the insult or neglect I do for the team is I don't go back out and check on how Harry and Charlotte are doing with. I was gonna rejoin them at some point. Make sure that they know where all the chips, where the extra chips and sodas are.
So
stuff
you're just
like
totally,
that.
you're just basically.
Instead, I basically go into my rabbit hole and just.
So
the next thing I know, it's 3 a.m. and everyone's gone by that time.
You ironically pull a Link in this because you don't even tell them where the chips and stuff is at. You just kind of disappear. As soon as that you realize people are leaving, you're just like, you're gone, and you go into like the lockdown room, and
Robot Dad has to be like, Jason, your teammates are looking for you.
Oh, that's
no, just turn them aside. Turn them aside.
That's totally
no. Believe me, not Byron would be the last person who would criticize this particular behavior.
Well, yeah, and that's probably actually how it started, is that 10-minute conversation that you have with the AI dad. But yeah, so you basically lock everybody out, but you're still doing. It's like they'll understand. I'm doing this for the team. I'm doing all this thing. And
yeah, I'm doing it for the team. But it still seems to the rest of the team that I'm.
I have to tell you, I'm almost disappointed because on a miss, I love the miss results. On a miss, you start typing. Why are you typing? Don't do that. Don't post that. Why did you post that? Immediately give influence to the internet, and the GM holds 1 hate follow that can be spent at any time to unexpectedly complicate a civilian interaction. Plus potential.
Internet is broken. I have to fix it.
Yes. Something is wrong with the internet.
Someone is wrong on the internet. Okay, so you shift your superior up and something else down. Is that what happens? That would give you the 7 that you need.
Yes. Well, no.
If you use your team, okay.
So, I see what I'm saying. I can spend a team to act. Okay, you're right. I was conflating these results.
Yeah, you spend a team. This is if you want to push the 6.
Right, I'm 7. Doing it, and that way I don't. Yeah.
Then you end up with a 7 because you push your superior up.
I end up not posting that thing online that I really should not post online.
You post your well, it still doesn't go 100% great, but you shift your superior up, and I would say you're mundane down because you're kind of shutting yourself off from everybody else and not being social and stuff.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so
superior up, mundane down. Thank you, Mike.
Good. Okay, so on a 10 plus both of these, which are on the 7 to 9, you may choose one. I never read the comments. Don't immediately give influence to the internet, or you're informed of a lead or opportunity relevant to your heroic identity. So you can basically choose. You can get a lead. It would actually count to addressing your doom track. You can get a lead on your heroic identity, but in that case, you also give influence to the internet. Or you don't give influence to the internet, but you don't get a lead.
I want to get a lead, and if I get a lead, then I give influence to the internet.
Yes, which means that things that people say online can shift your labels.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need to do that because that really sounds like Jason.
So awesome.
The internet rolls provoke on you.
Well, and of all the people who are likely to have, the internet has a voice against him or for him, it is Jason.
I think Link is certainly there's certainly a risk there for Link as well. But
no, I have a small army of My Little Pony fans.
Yeah, they can actually like
it's a much wider spread. Going back to the times when people probably saw him in diapers.
When people oh yes, that's actually probably true. When people, honestly, somebody needs to work on this. But Will Wheaton has got that one thing whenever he puts up something that somebody doesn't like on the internet, somebody posts the meme of Picard saying "Shut up, Wesley." There's got to be a "Shut up, Wesley" version of that for Jason. There's got to be some equivalent of like Rex saying, "Boys, be quiet."
Rusty saying, Rusty saying, "Shut up, Jason."
Or boys, not now. The grown-ups are talking, or something like that. I haven't seen the show, so I don't know if they ever say something like that, but they had to have at some point in time.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Sometime, some dismissive, But Dad, Rusty, we saw a Loop Garou.
Yep.
Oh, boys. Yeah.
Jason, you're being ridiculous.
Oh, Jason, you're being ridiculous again.
Perfect.
There we go.
Wait, do you want to give influence to him? I want to see this. Yes. Yes. God, that's such a good show. I enjoyed that a lot. A lot. Let me put it very specifically. I enjoyed that much more than I enjoyed the book. It's never been my favorite Gaiman book, but man, I like the TV show a lot.
They've addressed some stuff in it that overcomes some weaknesses in the book in terms of having a very passive third-person character who's the protagonist.
The thing is, I don't personally have anything against the book, but the problem was it came out not very, and this is very rare for a Gaiman thing anyway, but it came out very close to the same time that, to me anyway, or I read them close to when I read Anansi Boys. And I liked Anansi Boys a lot better. And nobody else seemed to agree with me anywhere on the planet. And I
love the audiobook.
Of which?
Anansi Boys.
Oh yeah, I haven't listened.
It's fabulous.
I am now going to get that because I didn't do audiobooks back then, but I do now all the time because, anyway. But I'll definitely check that out. It sounds awesome. But I was a big fan of Anansi Boys and not so much for American Gods. So ironically, it's one of those really weird things where a lot of reviewers compared Hidden Things to American Gods, which I knew was an amazing, heartwarming compliment. While at the same time, I'm quietly in my head like, I didn't like that book that much, but I know you really meant it as a nice compliment, so thank you. It's like saying your cooking really reminds me of flan when you hate flan, or whatever, not hate, but I love the TV series. Anyway.
So that all being said,
you give influence to the internet and you get a lead, which I will get back to you on in a little bit, but,
okay. So he does, but he doesn't completely blow off the team in doing this because he spent a point of team. So do I need to drag that out there?
No, you did. I will drag it out there. He did use a point of team. You do use a point of team to shift your thing.
So I still make sure that they've got chips and stuff like that, and I periodically stick my head back into the room and say,
no, that happened.
Oh, that does happen.
That does happen. You basically just, because it's tired, you're late, and you've got all the stuff you need to worry about, and you kind of just you go full introvert mode and just kind of disappear in a room and shut the door. And the thing is, to your mind, you're completely doing stuff for the team because you're dealing with the internet stuff and you're dealing with the menagerie stuff and you're taking care of all this stuff and you're double checking things and you're making sure people aren't saying, certain, stuff about the team, and you're making sure that Aegis didn't suddenly put a menagerie sub-site on their website claiming ownership and all that kind of stuff. And to your mind, you're doing all this stuff for the team, but you're also in a room away from everybody, not interacting with them, not supporting them directly, and you're doing all this stuff for the team, but what they see is that you're not out there with them. I am certain that I have never done this myself in my real life where I'm like, I know you guys didn't see me all night, but you'll be pleased to know that I've completely balanced our budget all the way through September. Actually, that took me an entire Saturday while my kids played alone. So, yeah, not proud of that. Anyway, but it did get done. So, yeah, it's that kind of a thing where you don't really see it, but you will in retrospect, probably after the conversation that you have with Link, which will just happen in some sort of ether alternate timeline that we have time for this, for those conversations. Thank God for the forum where people are writing out these talks, because otherwise we would never have time. Have Photoshop will meme. I gotta see this.
Don't. I typoed.
Actually, it's almost better that way.
It really is.
Honestly, leave it. That is so good. Not now, Jason.
Yes, it got miswritten down so somewhere in some circumstance, or like, all your bases are belong to us. And
it would never have caught on if there hadn't been a typo in the original message. Never, ever, ever. Not now, Jason. Your Be Ridiculous has become a thing.
yes,
Horrified.
People say it in sitcoms. Yes. Yes. It's so much better. Thank you, Mike, for making the mistake, because it's so much better with that mistake in it. That is absolutely flawless. And by flawless, I mean totally broken in a perfect way. I may start saying, in all seriousness, I may start saying that to my daughter. It's so good. It's so good. All right, I'm going to run downstairs real quick, and I know I can leave my headphone on, but I need to talk to people. So I'm going to let's take 2 minutes and grab some whatever you need to grab, and I'm going to grab stuff, and we'll be right back.
What? Talking to people?
Hey, Mike, on Trello,
My mother.
What's up, Bill?
we have a card for Help Adam Overcome Fear. Do you think we made substantial progress on that, or are we still chugging?
I think we made substantial progress on that.
You want to call that maybe resolved for now, or?
Let's call it resolved for now, up until it isn't, because I'm sure as soon as actually no, after
Do you
that
actually
conversation,
think talking is probably better than having me scare him? Maybe.
Adam Amari, the most emotionally mature member of the team.
Well, we're making progress.
In this time, while Harry has been eating a ton of chips, enough chips to
42
feed.
bags of chips.
I have cleaned 5 instruments.
Well,
Job.
That's pretty good.
LG with your life.
Was one of them was one of them a piano? Kelly's been folding clothes all night. I want to point out that it's actually only enough clothes to take about 20 minutes to fold, but she's taken all night to do it. So I don't know if that's virtue. Whether that's a virtue or one of the 7 deadly sins.
Sax, 3 flutes, and a piccolo.
Clean a sax? What do you have to clean on a sax?
Because I haven't.
fingerprints.
This right now should tell you why you should never borrow my saxophone.
One of these saxophone players was like, wow, look at that. A non-saxophone player taking better care of their saxophone than other saxophone players. And it's just because I was running the cleaning cloth through it before I put it away. Because flute does not generate that much spit. I do not clean out my flute as often as I should. But the saxophone has so much more spit.
I have one word for you. Trumpet.
That brass is a lot worse.
Trombone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, brass is so much worse.
But I'm saying in my own personal experience.
Oh yeah, saxophone's way worse than flute. No doubt.
I got my old marching flute back from the person who's been borrowing it since early summer.
It wasn't you. That was the like father, like son.
What?
Haji and Johnny.
Oh. That's terrible. You guys are the worst and the best.
Thank you. We'll be here all night.
Should I run around the sand? Just think, Johnny, your father will always know where to find you.
Saw that, I'm like, wait, look, didn't they just have that conversation with Link?
So funny. All right, so hey, how you doing? So Ghost Girl, you get back to the Quill Foundation, and The only person kind of around in the public areas is Harry, who's idly flipping through like 235 channels and
Per second.
per second, and eating all the chips and drinking all the
No,
soda.
I can watch all the channels.
He doesn't do picture in picture. He just cycles through stuff really, really fast. What do you do? Wait. I gotta change the screen. Here we go. Ah, that's better.
Of course, there's a pit couch.
Dave found it.
I don't hear any 70s disco music on the jukebox.
Wow. Little fuzz
Turn
guitar.
that off.
Just assume that the screen down there at the end is actually like a proper big TV. Hang on one second.
Teenager.
Wow, that was much longer than I thought it was.
Man, Dave.
Spamming the chat. Oh, and it didn't even all connect.
Jeez, how many lines is this?
Okay, we're all dead now. Good job.
What was that? Sorry, my nephew came in here. I was talking to him. I missed something.
Dave dropped a base 64 encoded image file into the text.
No, it was the image address.
Oh my god, man! What?
Dude.
It's not even
And all
clickable.
connected.
It's not even clickable.
I know.
No,
No.
it's the actual source code on it.
Why
Is
is
it?
it? Why is
Yeah.
it? That's-
It's what's called an inline image. You don't have to reference like an external file. You just encode the image as a very, very long URL.
wow.
Scrolling.
That is so cool.
I apologize, everyone.
That's
So this is what Jason has been working on all night. He's like, I'm gonna make the perfect menagerie logo. I got
and then when he gets it finally, he attaches it to a text message to everybody, and this is what you get.
at normal
Look, right there. There we go.
at normal
got it.
SMS rates.
Okay, if you copy the entire thing and paste it in your browser address line, you will see the new meme.
That's too much effort.
That's terrible.
Oh no, it actually is cute.
Oh wow. Hang on. Now I gotta do this. This is terrible. Like, okay, Adam, when you wake up tomorrow morning, your phone's gonna be giving you a warning about a data limit, about exceeding your text data limit. And you have no idea why, because the whole message never came through. You only got like the first three. Like it came out as separate texts. Oh my
Wow,
god.
it's strange that it's not Harry spamming the chat.
There you go. There's Dave's image.
Oh my god. Where's the image? Did you?
And I threw it into Discord.
Okay, I got it. I'll go over
Thank
there.
you.
It's less painful.
Yes.
Oh my god. You would be ridiculous. It just gets better. The typo just gets better. Oh my god, it's so good.
Okay, moving right along. We
I
have a heartfelt discussion between Ghost Girl and Harry to have.
We do. Oh my god, that's so good. Harry, Ghost Girl comes in and she's clearly upset. What do you do?
I put down the remote and kind of go over, like, what's wrong? What's up?
Awkward shoulder pat. Awkward teenage
It's just-
comforting.
Comforting girl, teenage comforting.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, just like a girl.
Thank you.
Hey now.
Sorry.
All right, Harry, what do you do? She's trying to I'm sure there's a move for that.
I do love the
Conversation pit.
background conversation pit. I'm a little worried about the throw though.
It's just when
It's
Jason.
a Yeti hide. I
No,
mean,
Jason
how
read
can you object to that?
Jason read something about like how much energy you can save if you go down if you just like sort of let the heating drop off after a certain point. You know, and so it gets down to like 64 or 62 or something like that throughout the complex at night. So when you're watching TV at night, you kind of need the throw.
And it's a
but
Yeti
it's gonna
hide.
give
So.
you
And
nightmares.
it's a Yeti
You
hide.
know how many tails are on there? I count.
Yetis have a lot of tails. Little known fact. I went to.
See,
I'm
That
gonna.
does not look like something I want to throw on me when I'm watching TV, though.
Oh wow, I like that too. It's probably laying around somewhere. Yeah, I'm working really hard to make sure I've got a backdrop picture for like all of our major sets. I can just switch to.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go. She doesn't want to talk about Harry. Do you believe her? Do you just let her go? Just head home? Okay, fine. Take it easy out.
I do not.
Pierce the mask, Harry. Pierce the mask. Figure out what's going on with her.
The cat?
Bill.
That image is not for the faint of heart. I should have warned you.
Oh dear.
Eyes are burning.
Oh dear. Oh my God. Is that?
Oh my!
Is that? Who is that? Who's that?
That's
supposed
Bartox,
Oh,
Yes,
who encounters
Bartok.
Power Girl.
okay.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Which reminds me, and I have to tell you this. I have to tell you this.
He shows up with Maxima too at one point.
Who's
This sort of reminds me of Harvey Mudd or
Yeah, Harry Mudd.
Harry Mudd.
who is okay in the Marvel universe? There's a villain who's recently kind of turned into something sort of like a hero. Something starts with a K. The Hunter.
Craven. the Hunter.
Craven the Hunter. Okay.
Was he a hero
He
too?
showed while he's frequently working with Squirrel Girl on stuff.
Oh, okay. Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
Never mind.
So-
he's classically a Spider-Man villain.
Right.
Yes.
And he's been doing a lot of stuff with, not a lot, but some. Enough that some people are writing some Squirrel Girl, Craven the Hunter fan fiction. And oh my sweet merciful crap, it's good. It's really not safe for work, but it's so good. It is so good, and it is so funny. And he is hilarious, and it's just so good. And that scene, that picture that you shared, reminded me of it because it's so fantastic. Anyway, so there you go. Squirrel Girl, Craven the Hunter fanfic. Not safe for work fanfic. Let that percolate in the back of your mind while Harry pats the sunken conversation pit next to the Yeti hide and encourages Ghost Girl to sit down. No, maybe that doesn't happen. And
Do you want to have some chips? Jason has every flavor that you can think of, and then 20 more besides that.
Imported from Korea, Japan, and India.
salted?
I love the fact that the first thing that pops into his mind for comfort is give them food.
Not wrong.
Oh,
Harry goes with what he knows.
And he does have influence over you. I mean, you
And
do
chocolate.
hear what you do. Yeah, he's got like he offers up a bowl of salted Oreo shrimp flavored chips. Not even sure where those came from.
Prawn flavored crisps.
Chris,
Utter
utter
disaster.
disaster.
Prawn Oreo flavored salted with curry chips. You can't decide if Barbara's like actually buying these things because you think she might like them, or if she's sort of trolling you.
who will actually dare eat them? No. We're testing the Quill Industries food brand.
Are you? Oh my God. It's got to be more. Well, they've had a lot of luck in the electronics field. I mean, one in every 20 users worldwide are using a Q phone. So, smartphone users. People love the software, they love the apps, they love the hardware. They don't love the fact that for some reason the Q phone is only available in a circular format. They're not fans. There's all these like YouTube unboxing things where they pull it out and they look kind of disbelievingly at the camera, and then they hold out a green M&M cooler pack that's meant to go in the freezer, and then and they're like the same form factor, and then they don't say anything, and that's the end of the video. Anyway,
there have been actual Jason Quill branded snack foods, but it's been a number of years. They're still collected by some fans and sold on eBay.
Maybe they're looking for like the superhero brand this time.
We had nothing to do with it.
The Asian market.
The Asian market has a lot of stuff.
Oh yes, we complete with that picture that I posted.
So that was
offering
really
me anything that is
Oh,
at all edible.
There's
Any
salted
chocolate?
taffy with bison tongue.
Yeah. Is there any, like chocolate or anything?
Just plain old chocolate.
I'm hold that thought.
He
Zoom.
he looks through all the chips.
I thought he was just going to go down to the 7-Eleven and grab me a Hershey
What?
bar and come back.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Is buy some chocolate.
It's usually his answer. Just run and do it.
So,
You think you're cutting out?
comfortably with chocolate and chips in hand. I mean, these are some really, Mom. Analogy here. You're blowing into your mic.
Sorry, I was walking. What am I doing?
Those are really interesting chip flavors and pretty different. And may not like each flavor of chip. Each is unique and has its own them. They're all amazing in their own way.
Every chip is beautiful in its own way.
All right, you're able to find some chocolate stuff. They're like chocolate Pringles. Which sounds disgusting and delicious at the same time, and I kind of wish that existed now. Probably it does.
They're chocolate covered chips.
So they're just one more wonderful thing about this wonderful world, Ghost Girl. How many of them do you eat before you start crying?
You're so sweet, Harry. It's just it's also just so different, and I didn't have chips growing up, and I just don't know.
Truly horrible.
Well, I did have praline, which is way better than chocolate covered chips, but it's just and I'm worried that I'm gonna hurt people, or the bad things are coming because of me, and it's just awful. I just
People
Just
you've
go
saved
home.
so far. You've been out for what? 2? And you've already helped take down a bunch of major bad guys, saving so many people. Potato chip facts. Okay,
That's actually one of the first ones that's one of the few messages you've got from Amir in the last
Amir, yes.
2 years. You had kind of an awkward text conversation that was okay, and then somewhere in the middle of it he dropped that. That was like the only positive that came out of that. So the meme has so far reached all the way to Australia.
Yes.
Anyway, back to.
Anyway, sorry, I was interrupting.
Yes, that's okay. You selfishly stole points away from the team, so.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let me finish your potato chip analogy. Yes, Harry, finish your potato chip analogy.
You've helped save all these people who otherwise you killed. You've done so much good, and I know
But what if these bad things are coming because I'm here and because I'm the
you
human
can't
world.
listen to what a nut job like him has to say. Demon, for Pete's sake. He automatically gets disqualified from any moral discussions. You've helped so many people, and I know it's hard being in this new world, but for what it's worth, you can always here to help you.
So sweet. You know, you're just like the best of what's here. Get points for that.
Oh, do you? Is
I
that
do.
when you share a thing and you say that they're good? I can't remember how that's. It's like how they're
best
awesome.
of someone. When it's sort of, I think it's sort of a flip because it's supposed to be about comforting someone, but
I'll look at it, but it's.
You can ponder it.
No, I think it's absolutely the right thing, but anyway.
No, you guys are just the best of so much good about what's human today. That sounds really bad.
But we wouldn't be this good without you here. Brings out the good in all of us.
That does get a chuckle out of her.
And honestly, I would say that's probably not the first time that's occurred to you, because you keep the boys in line.
That's just scary.
I gotta look down at the outside now.
You know, it's just so hard sometimes, you know. Maybe part of it is just being a teenager. I kind of remember I was like anybody else back then either, so. Yes.
Well, I'm not sure if you've looked around recently, but none of us here are exactly normal. What's so wrong with not being normal? Being normal is overrated. Being a ghost, now that's cool. Ghost who helps save people.
Just
so good.
Everyone could see, you know, the good in each other like that.
Stupid. You can't let them get to you.
So
everyone.
Same to you, Harry.
So I'm going to interject because I'm the interjecty GM guy. It's for you. So the thing you were talking about, it's in good spirits when you comfort or support someone by telling them how they exemplify the best parts of the modern world. You get to roll freak instead of mundane to comfort them, which is ironic because you're currently balancing: am I a freak or am I mundane? But you get to comfort or support by rolling freak.
definitely kind of freak right now, so that's okay.
If it's low though, you're that it's not supposed to be that low because you have a penalty because of hopeless, but it's only a penalty for unleashing your powers, not for this weird thing. So that still would be a 6, but you could spend
Oh, no, I rolled a 2 and I have a 2 in freak.
No, you rolled a 2 and a 2. That's a 2 on, it's 2d6, so it's a 2 and a 2 plus
okay, so
0.
2 and a 2 plus, right.
It's showing up
plus 2.
which is a 6. And I mean, I don't even think you necessarily need to do anything, Harry. I think the exchange of the conversation you guys are having is enough for you to spend a point to get that up to a 7 if you want to be. I don't know if you're particularly care about being comforter support at this point in time. Maybe Mercury is not needing that. Well, he does have afraid though. So are you? She's not articulating it. Maybe it's almost distracting that you're trying to comfort her and she's trying to comfort you at the same time. But if you want to, you can spend a team on that to bring it up to a 7, so she actually gets to count as a comforter support. Do you want to do that?
What's the worst that can happen?
Okay, no, that's fine. So
No, you don't have to roll. You just needed 1 point.
You don't have to roll. It's just she needs a point to get it up to a 7, so it counts as a comfort or support. So
Whoa.
you don't need to roll anything for that yet. Although you are comforting and supporting, and I'm going to make you roll for that in a second. So when you comfort or support someone, Ghost Girl, you hit, you got success. They hear you. So Harry, you can on what she does for you, you can mark potential. You can clear a condition or, okay. So you can mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if you open up to Ghost Girl. So she's saying how you're the best about the modern world. So I'm just gonna, I want to see that. I want to hear that part of the conversation. So what she's saying is like, you guys are the best about the modern world. And I know you're saying, but how specifically do you respond to what she says, when she says you're the best of people in this new world that she's in? How do you, do you respond to that, or is that just embarrassing and you kind of try to almost ignore it because it's sort of awkward?
I mean, response was more kind of like, no, you're the best part about this modern world. The fact that you're here.
So what I'm wondering then, because I feel like there's some question as to whether or not that's really Harry opening up.
Right.
And I'm not sure if it is, but it's not up to me. It's up to whether or not Ghost Girl thinks that he opened up. And because what he's doing, he seems to be really focusing not so much on hearing the nice thing you're saying about him, because clearly he's almost uncomfortable about it, but focusing on what he's saying to you, which is a whole different thing that we haven't really rolled into yet. Do you think he has opened up?
I think it was closer when he was saying, look at us. None of us are normal. But that wasn't specific. That was kind of a general.
Yeah, it's about us. Yeah, Harry's not opening up about Harry, which is fine. You don't have to open up. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you only have to say, like one word, and it counts as an open up. Depends on the person. In this case, I would have to agree. I don't know if he opened up, but that's okay, because it wasn't really about him. Harry, on the other hand, is clearly comforting and supporting Ghost Girl.
I don't know. I think I'm more, defending her from her inner demons.
works out the same way. You're trying to make her feel better about herself, is what I'm saying. Is that
Or is that a specific
Defending her
move?
from her inner demons.
what's that? Say it again. What you were just saying, Catherine.
Because I'm defending her from her inner demons.
That's I know that you really want to roll a defend, except that's not going to get her what she needs right now, which is to help her clear some conditions out.
Not give her that either.
What's that? You might. It's possible.
I thought to move her up, her roll up was like coming from the touching conversation we were having.
Yes, but that was okay. We don't necessarily need to do that since you didn't actually sort of respond to that comforting. You could let it be, let it stand as a 6 and not spend the point. But there's two things happening here. This is the problem is you guys are both doing this. Is Ghost Girl is sort of trying to open up, and it feels like a comfort and support towards Harry, who isn't really necessarily comfortable with it. And meanwhile, Harry is trying to say how awesome Ghost Girl is and make her feel better. Comfort and support is just trying to make the other person feel better when they're down in the dumps or whatever. And that's definitely what you're doing. I know it's not necessarily your best stat for that, but that's okay because you've role played Harry as not being particularly good at this, so that works out too.
Oh, he was sweet.
He's absolutely
and-
sweet.
And rolling a 6 minus is potential.
Yeah, Adam was really sweet too. It doesn't mean he didn't totally pooch that roll and make it worse. Well, technically, his family did, but
Rolls downhill.
I mean, if you would prefer not to roll on the comfort. Oh wait, what happened?
Look at that.
Did he do it?
Yeah.
Look at that!
Chip worked.
A pusillant hit.
The chips worked.
The chips worked.
From
Comfort and
now
support.
on, Harry swears by chocolate-covered potato chips.
That says how do you comfort your teammates? Well, there's this really good chip brand from Nova Scotia, and pretty much that. When you comfort or support someone on a hit, they hear you. They mark. Now again, this is if Ghost Girl opens up. If they open up, they can mark potential clear condition or shift labels if they open up. On a 10 plus, you can also add a team to the pool or clear a condition yourself. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a gift on that too. I'm going to put the team point that you spent back in since Harry didn't open up, let's just let it stand as a sort of failed comfort and support because Harry's not really open to it. There'll be a downside to that down the road, but for right now, let it stand. And that'll also get Ghost Girl a potential. So first of all, so he's saying all this stuff. You make
And
us
it gets
better.
Harry something too, right?
Yeah, well, it gets the team. Since he rolled a 10, he can either put a point in the pool or clear a condition on himself.
Isn't he carrying a condition?
He is carrying a condition. He is carrying
Afraid.
afraid. So you could clear afraid, having been like. So Ghost Girl, he says this thing about you. He says, we're great. You say we're great, but you make us better. We wouldn't be as good without you. How do you respond to that? What do you do?
Oh, so first I chuckle a little bit because
And then you realize he's serious.
I kind of think back and I'm like, they're a little bit less dorky when I'm around than
when I'm watching and they don't know I'm there.
Yeah. That's really sweet. I think, together we're and when we take everything on ourselves, it's helps.
So you're doing the same. You teenagers.
Okay.
You're talking.
Well, I did a lot of opening up to him. I talked about how scared I was and how much I thought I was, awful. And
Can the GM make a suggestion? Because it'll let you lead into even one more thing that you have going on. You can ask him for like, I don't know what I should do. I don't know how I can fix this or do this thing. Because if he gives you advice, then we're on to the vulnerability thing, which is yet another move for you.
Okay.
Why in the world do you think I would know how to?
Because because you defended. You were the first one into the breach when she needed help last time.
I can actually give her
something.
advice.
No, actually, there is something that he could do that's kind of specific to him. I think I'm not sure what we should be doing next, but I really want to try and find someone who's not demon summoner to kind of take a look at this and do you know anybody on the good side that kind of spooky?
Don't, but I was already planning on going over, or when I got home, asking if you want to over there now and ask.
Really great.
You were going to ask where? Back at home?
His parents. They are in the super community.
Yeah. Oh, you mean
have
like
connections?
Not ask them like what to about the spirit stuff, but ask them who might know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ask them who's a good spooky contact that we could talk to. Maybe going into the details of why.
I like it. Okay, let's parse all this apart. Do you want now? And also, I want to know: do you want to do that now?
We've been.
No, I don't. I mean within the timeline of the game, though. Do you guys want to have to go do that now, or I'll swing by after school tomorrow, kind of thing, or is that something you want to act on? You've been hugging the time, but you also didn't. Harry didn't get a lot of time last time, so that's okay.
I would say that we could do it now. I mean, because Harry's got to go home eventually, anyways. So.
Okay. So.
Because we're not too late.
Picking this thing apart. Back to the basic move here. Comfort support. Okay, so Ghost Girl, you can mark potential, clear a condition, or shift your labels, having opened up to his thing. Harry, you can. I already added the team to the pool. Oh wait, well I don't have to. So it's one or the other. Do you want to add team to the pool or clear that condition off yourself, the afraid condition off yourself, for like having really made an impact with her? What do you think? You rolled so well on the comforter support that you can actually clear a condition off yourself in addition to helping her out. Or you can add team to the pool. Either way.
I think I will clear a condition.
That is totally fine by me. That is totally fine by me. Jason.
Yes.
While you guys sort of like go, okay, well, yeah, I was like, when do you want to do that? How about now? Okay. And you actually, oh God, have you guys seen Sherlock, how like when they get text messages, you get the text up in the air next to them?
Oh.
So the Ghost Girl's asking this and Harry gets a text and you pick it up and you see the text and it's from, I can't think what corny tagline Dad has for his text thing. And it's something like Fast Daddy. And it's like, hey, trooper, just saw a little shot of you doing a little crime fighting on the 11 o'clock. Want to stop by and do a quick debrief? And then like 4 emojis. like the wrong emojis. They're like all winky. They're like all like flirty winky faces.
Jeez. Is there not the poo emoji?
No, it's not the poo emoji.
Smiley face, light bulb, eggplant.
Oh God, Dad, just stop. And you're like, yeah, sure. Now is good, I guess. Sort of. Anyway. Jason.
Yes.
And
Go-
by the way, I'm clearing guilty.
Okay. That sounds good. Man, conditions still rank. I love the fact that we pick up more, almost as many when we talk as we do when we fight. So good.
That's when our rolls suck.
It's so good.
There comes a time on every super team when like they meet like the dark versions of themselves. For us, that's downtime.
Actually, there's a
It's a
recent.
miss, by the way, for me. Should I mark
It was
potential?
It was a miss and mark potential. Yes, I was about to tell you that. There's actually the Halcyon City Herald, which is another mass supplement, just came out in PDF, and they actually have a move in there for when you meet your alternate universe doppelganger face to face, like unexpectedly.
Because of course,
There's a move.
as one does.
There's a move for it, and like there's also accompanying art of it like happening to random pedestrians in Halcyon City. They're not even supers. It just happens often enough around Halcyon City that like random mundane NPCs are running into each other on the bus. Like there's special companies that protect...
with an evil goatee.
Well, there's companies that actually specialize in identity theft specifically from people who are actually you from another reality. Anyway, so
Which one of you is
For-
rounding error then?
yeah,
For my money, the best story that took advantage of that concept was the one from Astro City where the lawyer would get people off with that defense. He's like, could have been their evil twin.
Oh yes,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
could have been the doppelgang. Could have been.
Yeah. That's perfect. Okay, so Jason, one of the things that you pick up when you're peregrinations around the internet is that somebody and you track down, it's a couple of weird like conspiracy sites and one local paper. People are complaining about headaches and nosebleeds in this small town closer to Philadelphia, but it's up along the coast. And a couple of there's some seismic readings and stuff like that, but they've seemed to track it down to actually, the news article. Okay, wandering weirdly close to current events and news and stuff like that, but the whole weird crap that happened. The Cuba thing. So random nosebleeds and I can't remember what all the symptoms were, but there's a whole town where that's been happening for like the last week and a half, off and on. People are like taking vacations. People are calling in sick. It's had a really delicate, and people have been able to identify it as what they think is happening is some sort of sound weapon being tested, or not. I'm sorry, not sound weapon.
Sonic Hero.
No, oscillations in the ionosphere around that area. So it's had effects on the people. So not sound stuff, but it's had effects on the people. Sleep patterns are being disrupted. People are like are suffering from massive insomnia, not able to sleep properly. Weird meteorological shifts and stuff like that, but weird effects on the local ionosphere. Some sort of artificial manipulation of the electric fields in the area, in a wide area. And you can't help but but immediately think of that electric gun, which shouldn't be doing, or whatever that thing was.
Right.
Which shouldn't be able to do stuff like that unless somebody happened to be a genius and could modulate it to do stuff. Although why she's terrorizing some random like summer tourist village on the tourist town along the Pennsylvania coast is anybody's guess, but something. I mean, it may be something else entirely, but
But it looks like it's something that might be related to Alicia.
yes, yes. And more specifically, the thing that which leads you back to that whole like, I should really poke some more into what the heck she was actually doing. I mean,
what she was doing when she was working here at the foundation.
you have literally a month's worth of video footage of her that you could peruse.
God, that would take like forever to go through unless I like really did something to
speed things up,
accelerate my uptake of that information.
If only you had a nigh infinite number of eyeballs with which to peruse all that data simultaneously, or to access the data banks directly via the nanobots.
Yeah, or dive into the data directly, or something equally
foolish, but
True-ness?
so
equally
efficient.
doomish. Yes, it would be so efficient, and I've got so many things in the air right now. I can't afford to not do something
like that,
like this. Okay, well, we're gonna have to discuss maybe what to do about this Philadelphia town with the rest of the gang tomorrow. God, what time is it? Oh, it's already 3 a.m. They're probably gone by now. Shoot, did I tell them where the extra sodas were? Crap. Oh well.
3 a.m. and you're down in your warehouse area wandering around, like looking at the cameras and trying to decide if you should just access the equipment directly from here.
Yeah. As one does. Yeah, he's gonna do that. He's been sort of neglecting his responsibilities and not doing what he needs to for the team and to deal with Alicia and things like that. So
okay. So use dark visions, which advances your doom track. And you basically track down, you sort of like get every moment of Alicia's time in the warehouse over that month sort of as a 10-minute highlight reel on high speed. And it's an interesting, there's no sound, but you watch her coming in clearly as an infiltrator, clearly as somebody who's just there to get stuff, right? And what you see instantly, for all that you're kind of like annoyed with the fact that the warehouse let this get out, these are good guys. You see the other warehouse workers sort of they've got kind of this camaraderie, and she's clearly the outsider, and they work to make her not the outsider over the course of the month. And to be fair, she responds to it. But you've got the Carl, the guy who's like the manager in the area, you know, always kind of checking in on her. You there's a weirdest little waif of a girl who should be terrible in a warehouse that, according to the files that you quickly access, her name is, well, you can't imagine it was a given name. Her name is Cosmos. She's a design student, but she's part-timing in the warehouse and stuff like that. And she starts bringing in cupcakes for her like every third day. They're like homemade. And you see like her turn them down. By the third week, she just like gives up and just starts taking them. There's the one that's really great though is like sort of the assistant, like sort of the supervisor for her shift, whose name is Ed. And Ed is just totally the mentor because frankly, Alicia, although smart, is not very good at the warehouse stuff. And you see over and over again, coaching, mentoring, helping her out, joking. Apparently you can't really tell from, because you have no audio, but apparently he starts every shift by telling a really terrible joke to everybody. And it's different every day. as near as you can tell, and it's always just totally groan worthy. And she starts to get into it, you know. So when you see Ed get the call, you see Ed get the call that his wife's gone into labor and that he's got to go, and he's like in a panic because the boss isn't there, and and you see her step up, and you're almost sure that she was stepping up just to cover for him. And then it isn't until after he realizes, and then she's there for like 20 minutes doing the stuff and trying to keep track of everything and doing all the stuff that she's barely been trained on to make sure that it's okay, and occasionally checking her phone to see if she's gotten any text messages, that she realizes this is my opportunity. And you see her kind of like go back into that mode. It's like she almost forgot what she was there for in the last couple of weeks that she was there.
Interesting.
And she was just kind of,
I mean, like, treat her normal and
yeah. What did they
No,
say?
just-
I can't remember what her alias was. Alice something. Alice Chan or something like that.
Yeah.
So this gives you the opportunity, if you're inclined, to do a Pierce the Mask through all of this observation and stuff of her. To get
Well, yeah, because she, there's at a minimum there's an opportunity here to kind of figure out what she's up to from a very straightforward purpose, but
you're also seeing some stuff that there's some interactions here that make her open up, and that's not a terrible thing either, or not useful.
Exactly. I mean, I this whole thing with her is just like, it's so stupid that she's doing all this stuff just out of this, hey, we're all arch nemesis here, damn it. Thank you, Bill.
Stalking makes everything stalking makes everything better.
So
it's
yeah,
true,
Really, speed dating? Oh my God, Bill. Oh my God.
That's why I was laughing.
You're behind.
I've been sitting across the room. Oh my God. Okay. So Dave, why don't you give me a Pierce the Mask?
Pierce the Mask, which is a mundane roll, which is of course exactly where I'm furthest down on.
Well, potential. The potential for potential. Oh, I'm really gonna owe Adam. Oh my God.
Oh dear. God, I had something up for that for a long time and I closed it.
He needs to just start stalking her more, I think. Just
He kind of thinks that she's like totally changed.
Now
and-
listen, because you burned a Doom track on this and used Dark Visions, I will let you ask one thing off Pierce the Mask. Anyway.
Okay, so just make sure I'm remembering all the details here on this. This is the period in which I believe that she took the EMP MacGuffin.
The next thing that happened after the video footage that you have here, like what's about to happen, and the last actually thing you have on video is her getting into the inventory system and actually ordering to have that
ordering it and
having it delivered to a UPS store across town that she then later goes and picks up. It's not in the warehouse, it's at a warehouse, and she has the automated system basically pull it out and deliver it.
Right.
But any one of these questions, there isn't a thing in here that I wouldn't be willing to ask based on what you've seen. So what's the most intriguing or compelling question here on the Pierce the Mask? For those you aren't looking at, the questions are: what are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank? Or how could I gain influence on you? Which you don't really need to ask because you have influence over her.
Right. Oh man. Okay. So the obvious thing that I should ask is what she's really planning on doing here, but I so want to ask something, since I've been watching her like be a normal person and actually be a contributing member of society and not being a psychopathic mad scientist. I'd really like to ask something like, how can I, how could I get you to drop this whole vendetta thing? But it's really, really late, and I've got a terrible headache because I've been doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing, and I've been slacking on doing the right thing for my team, and my dad's avatar has been lurking around in the background. So I'm going to do the straightforward thing and try to figure out what it is that she's really doing, or what however that was phrased.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. And because your nanobots are churning so high on this, and you're analyzing everything, and you're thinking about you're pulling up the schematics of this electrical gun and all this other kind of stuff, you make a synaptic connection between all of this data in that sort of super genius way that you have a tendency to deny, not without empirical proof, but you just connect all these bits, and they just all, honestly, it's almost like one of those cheesy, if you guys ever watched, God, what was it? Main character was Chuck Bartowski. What the hell was the show called?
Chuck. Yes.
Where the interface, where he flashes on the
Right.
interface, that
I love Chuck.
kind of a thing.
Uh-huh.
But you just kind of make all these connections all at once. She's using this thing, or thinks she can use this thing, to break down a dimensional barrier. She's experimenting. She's trying to get wherever your dads went.
Right.
And in this case, I'm saying your dads, and I actually mean all three of them, but which I think is adorable. But
Rusty is not my dad.
he isn't.
He's Rusty. Anyway.
He's not my dad. He's my parent. But anyway, but yeah, she's probably, and you couldn't even articulate it, but if you, at that moment, if somebody was standing right there, you could rattle off all of the science behind how she thinks these electrical oscillations could potentially, and it's probably all connected to that damned electrical, like that electric glove that she's got, and the interaction that thing had with Harry. It may be some adaptation of that. This would have happened before that. So did she know that when she shot Harry that it was going to have that kind of effect? Did she think that was going to take her with him? All that kind of stuff. And right about then, in the video that you're watching, this is right as she finishes up the order. She looks up at the camera, she smiles, and she finger guns you, and you collapse unconscious in the middle of the warehouse. Your eyes just, the shot goes back, and your eyes just roll straight back in your head, and you realize you get all of this stuff, and then she goes, and eyes roll back in your head, and you just, and then the people watching this television show argue for the next week as to whether or not your position on the floor was intentionally supposed to call to mind the hanged man from the tarot. Because that's kind of the position that you're left in on the floor. What did she do to you, Jason? What did she do? Adam, I know it's getting late.
Into your mind.
Does anybody?
As it were.
Do we have 10
Open
more
your
minutes?
mind,
Because
Mr. Quaid.
I want to give Adam
Open your mind.
I need to give Adam 10 more minutes.
What?
Well, I need to give you a little bit more time. The stuff that you did that you think that those moves that you triggered, please tell me about them.
Oh, so really quick, there was the opening up move, because I was sharing a vulnerability or weakness with someone, and I told him secrets about me, and that would have been Link.
What does it do? I mean, I'm not going to look at it right now.
I give him influence again,
which he has, so he can shift your
tell
levels.
me what to shift,
again.
and then this would have really helped earlier. But I shift up mundane and shift my masks label down.
Interesting. Oh, would that have helped with your comfort and support?
It would have.
I mean, let's leave that one since we weren't fully in the in the Janus thing yet. And honestly, I like you failing on that roll so much.
Well, we're doing it now, not before, so it's not.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
now. That's fine.
And then the other one is I am what you see. In which case, when you spend time talking to somebody about your identity, you can ask them which label they want to impose on you. So.
And what is that?
Hey, Bill. What label do you want to impose on me? Based on our conversation in the car.
I don't think mundane, danger, or freak are indicated. It's really more of the self-determination kind of label, whatever that might be. That feels like superior would be the closest thing, but that's
okay.
That's kind of subjective.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Superior is where you're definitely like in control.
Yeah,
do you shift down then if you?
No, I don't.
What happens?
Oh, if I reject them, then we do the reject, someone's opinion move.
Right,
and if I accept it, I take +1 forward and either mark potential or clear a condition.
+1 forward to what? Just +1 forward in the next roll?
It's +1 forward. It's always right. +1 forward to the next roll.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a specific thing. So so do you accept this superior thing that he's saying?
I think so. I mean, like he's trying to talk me up, and that really, based on what we did on the forum, that really kind of got Adam out of his funk. I think.
I need to remember to process the stuff after you guys get done talking about it and looking at of course we didn't know that those moves were going to line up at this point in time. So we'll just do this as you like Adam is this is after homework and you're laying in bed and you're basically playing through everything in your head afterwards and processing it really for the first time. And this isn't an unusual thing to be 12, 13 years old and having a conversation and then not really realizing how important it was until 3 hours later when things finally get quiet. It, in fact, isn't that unusual to happen when you're 32, 42, or 52. But
so you need time to process.
Yeah, you need time. So this is where it finally kicks in. So it doesn't change your label. It's just what you think of. It doesn't change your label. It's what he thinks of it, and if you go with that, then +1.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah, because if I didn't go with that, then we do rejecting someone's influence.
And I love that Harry is going to go to the Gales to get suggestion, because actually Bill gave me the perfect person to have the Gales suggest you go talk to, which is awesome. Or rather, a group of people to go talk to, which is also awesome.
Professor Providence?
No. Oh my God, though, that's an awesome name.
That is an awesome name.
Professor Providence.
And his P-men.
Oh
no, that doesn't work.
Fantastically unfortunate group name there. No, that's really good.
Or his base, the P quarters. I mean, it's just it doesn't. Yeah.
No.
Doesn't
no.
To me, my P-men.
There was actually though that Halcyon City Herald is the booklet is like a collection of articles from various newspapers in Halcyon City, and one of the things that they offhand mentioned a couple times is the Q phone, and I'm like, well, that in our version of Halcyon City is absolutely a quill phone. It just has to be. Anyway.
Yeah, all those patents actually got licensed out to a major phone manufacturer. I know we don't do that kind of thing ourselves. We just like get the money back.
You prototype stuff
with the provision that a certain number of the phones are to be given to third world countries and people who otherwise couldn't afford it.
I love it. Link.
I like the shoe people, right?
Which doesn't always help because a lot of their functionality requires on full data circuit, and in a lot of the places where they're going to, all they've got is cellular service. So it's not as helpful as it potentially could be, but it's sort of a prestige item.
What's up?
So you get back to your home, secret salvage yard. I think I'm on my third, because of my kids, fourth listen through of Ready Player One. So every time you guys mention living in a salvage yard, I think of the main character in that book. Anyway, Otto is kind of chattering the whole way home about everything, all the cool stuff that happened that night, and stuff. Numa is like waiting outside when you pull up. Just sort of, and it kind of waves as you pull out, as the headlights sort of fall across and everything like that.
I'm sorry I ran off earlier, but don't kill me. I'm sorry.
No, I actually understand. I understand why you did. I think it was probably the right thing to do, although you probably did it the wrong way. But I mean, that's, as I understand it, if you're going to make that mistake, I mean, that's probably the best way to make it. I'm assuming it went well. I got a bit of a briefing from Otto.
Things are fine. Jason and I didn't have a fight. Everything's fine.
You didn't have a fight? Did you have a talk?
Yeah.
That's probably good too.
I made a really good joke about him though. It was great. I got to tell you about it later.
I can't wait to hear about it. Why didn't you tell them you wanted to be the leader?
Because I actually don't. I don't want there to be a leader.
Okay. Huh. I guess that shouldn't surprise me, really. You've been very good with us too about all that. I need to go out of town for a couple of days. Is that all right?
Is there anything that I can help with?
Not yet. I'm looking into a few things that are, well, two different things. One's about me and one's about you, or, well, your father. And I just want to. It's not dangerous. I need to go I need to go check out some things firsthand at the Japanese stock exchange.
Okay.
I'm just curious. That's one thing. There's also, I want to talk to someone over there that I've been in touch with online.
If you think you're going to be safe and you think it's something that you want to do, I support it.
You're very good at not being a leader, but being a leader. So I think you should remember that the next time the team doesn't need a leader, but kind of does.
Yeah, that made sense. I know what you mean. I'm joking. It's fine.
Okay.
It's,
All right.
It's just that, having people tell you what to do all your life gets kind of cumbersome, and being told what you're going to be. I felt that. You obviously felt that, and I think everybody I know has felt that, and I don't want that for anybody. So people should decide for themselves what they're going to do.
Huh. I have decided that I want popcorn and a reviewing of The Hangover.
God damn it. Okay.
Wait, it's a school night, isn't it? Never mind. It's fine.
It's the teeth. Losing teeth bothers me.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Right.
It's fine.
No, it'll be too late. It's fine. Tomorrow night, rain check. How about when I get back?
Sounds good.
When I get back. All right.
Leo's sitting here thinking, she didn't kill me. Thank you, Lord. I came this close.
Do you want her this to be a comfort or support? I guess I can't really roll, can I? Never mind. Can't really.
You're fine.
She has influence over you.
This is just their normal banter, though. I feel it's
she's constantly trying to push you to kind of be that, that kind of thing. I could do a label move, but I'm not going to because it's getting late. I still want to give more screen time to people, but there's never enough time to give enough screen time to everybody. Okay, so we're going to wrap up because it's getting late. And it is a school night. So, Jason, did you grow closer to the team, farther away from the team, or into your own image of yourself? I mean, you kind of grew further away from the team a little bit.
Well, I could see either of the second two because he's really been making an effort to try to do stuff that he's thinking is the right thing to do.
Yes, it could be either one of those. I think definitely.
Yeah, certainly not growing closer to the team, despite the offering of chips and soda.
Ponder it.
I am going to say grew away from the team. Just even having had my conversation with Leo, it's
somebody's mic is live.
It felt very the kind of interactions with the team and trying to be hospitable and stuff, and everyone was kind of going off on their own direction, and I, which included me, to be perfectly fair. So I felt like I grew up from the team, but I think the one thing, the question is then who I'm taking influence.
I mean,
over.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that taking influence away. What do you do if you?
I don't know if there's.
What's the thing if you grow into your image of yourself? What happens then?
I shift labels.
If you're so inclined.
If I'm so inclined. I guess, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and take grow in my image myself, because I made an effort to really try to do the right thing for everyone, whether people agree with it or not. and to kind of do that,
Shift superior. You did a bunch of research. Shifting superior would make sense.
What's the max that you can be at?
3.
3. Ah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna probably bump up superior, and I'm going to. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna bump up superior. I took a deep dive. I'm gonna bump up freak.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was
You were
doing
doing
all
the
the
thing.
power stuff.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
And I could do mundane, but I really kind of rejected the really good pierce the mask thing that I wanted to do. So, and didn't do the comfort and support that I wanted to be able to do. So, and I'm gonna take it away from danger.
Danger. Okay. Cool. I like it. Link.
I feel I grew closer to the team. I am gonna say, based on what happened there, I grew closer to Adam because he hung out with me dealing with Ghost Heart. He did the thing that Leo and he talked about doing, and I thought he did really well. So that kind of, to me, kind of validates that like he's on the right track.
Very cool.
Yeah, we interrogated the guy.
Very cool. I like it. All right, so I think that means that Adam can shift your labels because I think he's already got.
That's correct.
Yep. Adam. We'll go right there.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the same thing for the same reasons, because I think that Link and Concord got to interrogate a guy, and now Adam feels useful.
Totally cool. And yeah, that he's not gonna feel the same way after that conversation he had with Ghost Girl. Not that it wasn't sweet. It was totally adorable. It was just not effective.
Yeah.
Mercury. Oh, you go ahead. You said also.
I was gonna. Well, no. Finish up this, and then I'll ask you afterwards.
Okay. Mercury. Closer to the team, further away from the team, more into the image of yourself.
Closer to the team, mainly closer to Ghost Girl.
Okay. And that would give influence to Ghost Girl. Do you already have influence over Harry? Ghost Girl has influence over everybody. Of course she does. So Ghost Girl has the opportunity to shift labels on Harry. And which brings us to Ghost Girl. Closer to the team, further away from the team, or into your own image of yourself.
And so I think that's Harry. So
yeah,
and I think, do you already have?
Mercury, I think, already has influence over Charlotte. Yeah, he has influence over everybody also right now. Okay, so I like all the labels on the room, by the way. Yeti. All that couch and only 2 pillows. So Ghost Girl, you can shift labels on Harry too. This sounds familiar.
That's how you know it's a really comfy couch, because you don't need
the pillows.
Sure.
Another Yeti. Yeah, like there are 2 blankets there. I keep thinking that leaf thing like waves and moves like a ceiling fan. It's more like like an organic flexing thing.
Like an organic fan, so it kind of does a little bit of the up and down motion.
Yeah.
We're all still fascinated by the 3-legged table thing with the
weird
stick.
Like lamp hanger or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of scary. It's supposed to be a lily pad, maybe. I don't know.
Lily pad with a thing. I don't know.
Dad built it. Okay, I have no idea what it does. Dad built it.
So
he said, "Don't spill anything on it." Okay.
Him and Rusty did like a woodworking class together one summer. It was a disaster.
So the way I see that is...
Wait, Adam was going to say something. I want to hear this.
Oh, no. So, Bill, the way I see that is, like, maybe Link, like, let his guard down. Like, yeah, things are finally starting to click with us. Like, perhaps this team is going to work. And then right as he's feeling good about it, Numa's like, "Hey, I'm leaving." And now, oh no, that could be like an insecure, a hopeless, even a guilty.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think about. But I'm not sure how to swing that.
I mean, if you decide later, I am prefacing this. I am prefacing this entirely off that conversation that she had with the priest, and she's on a bit of a journey of exploration for herself, which is why she's going over there. But it's mostly because she's researching something with a company that's active here in Halcyon City, but also is active over there and may not have as may have some information over there that she can get her hands on.
Actually, Bill, maybe you're afraid for her going off on her own too.
Why are you trying to give him a condition?
Because I have to give him a condition.
He shifted my freak down, but freak is already at -2 for me.
Oh.
So if labels can't shift, you must take a condition.
I see.
I think your rationale for afraid is good. It's not that Link is personally feeling afraid. It's more like
anxious.
It's concern. Yeah, he's become a concern meme now.
Yeah, and now it's like whenever he's gonna actually like directly engage somebody, in the back of his mind, he's just wondering where Numa is.
You bastard! That's my only move. What are you doing to me?
I think that's perfect. That's so good. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's right. I forgot when you guys when you shift the labels, and they're already maxed out.
That's why I'm saying the comedy is there. Like if you don't know what labels people have.
Yeah, you're right.
Like if it's just like, yeah, I could make you into more of yourself, or I could drop a bomb on you.
Yep. Well, that's why, honestly, I mean, it totally made sense for me, but I was loving that the fact that when Dad praised Harry and told him to and wanted to raise his savior was already maxed out, so it was conditioned. So Dad's praise had far more harm than good.
I just now see like Harry's dad is just permanently like disappointed John Wesley Shipp. I can't see him as anything else. So yeah, like, any interaction with Harry's dad is just not going to end well.
No, hang on a second.
It's his most common expression.
Yeah, there's actually, this is the guy when you look at that picture that I found of, hang on, when you look at the picture that I found, the drawing of him that I shared a couple days ago, and you take it, or a couple weeks ago, and you take it and put in there, that actual actor, which totally works, by the way. That's who I've been kind of picturing. I can't remember his name. But yeah, disappointed. That picture that you showed of him like looking disappointed was so good anyway, so it all kind of works. I can't remember the name of that actor. Anyway.
The one I linked or yours?
The one that I linked. I don't know.
Hal Cooper.
Hal Cooper. He's in stuff.
It's the character name.
Yeah, he's
Lachlan Monroe. There's a name.
That is a good name. Wow, Lachlan. That actually sounds like a more appropriate name for Riverdale anyway. He's one of the dads in Riverdale. He's one of the bad parents in Riverdale, but he looks a lot like the picture of the speedster dad that I found. Oh yeah. Hal Cooper is a piece of work. All right. Guys, thank you very much. That was a fun session. I enjoy all the things that happened in there. And we will do it again. I think next week, though, we might. Okay, so what do we have? We have researching on the weird stuff, directed there by Gail. I know exactly where that's going to go. We have unconscious Jason on the floor of the warehouse. We have awkward breakfast table conversation with links with Adam's folks.
Yay!
And I think there's something going on with Link too. I got to figure out too. I don't think we're actually left with any conversations that are desperately going to probably happen on the forum. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape. The active column on Trello has like 5 things though, so
Oh my god. I'll go back and
Can
look
you
at this.
put the link for that? The site here, because I'm not finding it in my crap.
do you want it in Roll20 or Discord?
Discord. Because, yeah,
Yeah.
it stays there.
Yeah, perfect. I saw you posting here instead of in Roll20, so I figured I should ask.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I was posting in Discord because I could.
Nice.
Oh, really quick. Hey, Doyce.
Yes.
So Adam advanced at the end of this session.
Oh god. Again.
So I was gonna say,
Has Ghost Girl gotten an advance yet? We need to work on that. Poor Ghost Girl. She doesn't fail enough. So anyway, you advanced
Hey,
and
everyone is running around with like 3 conditions on.
yeah. So Adam, you advanced. What happened?
so I wanted to ask.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about taking a move from another playbook.
Okay.
In the new Halcyon City.
Oh god.
Yes.
What?
So there's the Newborn playbook, and
yeah.
they have the move A Mind of Their Own. And with the nebulous powers of the Concordance, I was wondering whether or not that might be appropriate.
Okay, let me.
When you face an obstacle or threat that your powers would not be able to deal with, you can mark a condition and gain brand new abilities adapted to the situation. You lose these new powers once the danger is gone.
That's every Green Lantern comic I've ever read.
That kind of It's literally new powers as the plot demands.
I mean, usually it's something like Speedster or whatever, but yeah, I mean I'm fine with that. Hey, incidentally, the last advance that you did, you picked up extra burn on your thing. What did you do with that advance now?
I did take another move from your playbook, and that's I picked up I'll save you.
Okay. All right. So
actually I picked up Game Face.
Okay.
I put them alphabetical order.
So you don't have drives from the beacon. You don't have drives from the beacon yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
But I'm gonna pick them up at some point.
Yeah.
I figure once Concord feels more about like, yeah, superheroing is cool.
Then you pick up drives. Awesome. Sounds good. I like it. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And that, honestly, it's a good way to keep your powers kind of a little bit slightly over the top, because they are still kind of over the top without it being about like, oh my God, they're going to spill out and become Vesuvius and stuff like that. So I am fine with that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, Adam, I didn't know you could do blank.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
Yeah, that'll be. There's so many shades of like some of the Blue Beetle stuff from the second season of Young Justice, but also there's like a lot of stuff. This may give away some of what I'm planning for the Concordance, but there's so many shades of honestly Invincible in some of the stuff that's happening with Adam.
Oh, good.
I am perfectly fine with all of that.
Hey, Doyce, I'll tell you right now, like when I was adding some images to these cards for the Concordance warning card, the first thing I went to was an image of the Reach. So you're not giving anything away.
I mean, it's kind of that, but it's not the Reach, but
it's the Reach.
It's something. It's something. You're ridiculous, and by that I mean
I want like the Reach to. I want it to be called the Grasp. You just call that.
Nice.
Does the Reach exceed the Grasp?
Or what's a heaven for?
Dave, when you're recapping this, you have to capture Margie's share of you can't make somebody love you. You can only stalk them and hope for the best.
Oh, it is absolutely pulled up and will be in the. Will be somewhere in the summary.
That is so.
So what you're missing, Joyce, is all of the quotes from Johnny Quest episodes that I
That
found
she's been-
online and that I've been sending to Dave on Twitter.
Oh my god! I will never not.
all of which you can end with a hearty not now, be ridiculous.
Your be ridiculous. I am never going to be able to look at that without laughing. That is so funny. I mean, Mike may sit here and still feel bad that he.
I've been building Jason Quill memes.
It would never. I have to tell you, it would never be as funny if you had typed it right in the first place. It's so much better this way. God, it's so much better this way.
That's okay. I accidentally memed.
Oh, you accidentally memed. I accidentally a word. All right. Thank you guys. Good game. Thank you very much. We're probably going to have next session, and I think the 2 weeks that follow that we're out for various things. I think.
So
Something like
that
that.
session needs to be entirely Harry and Adam getting a corn dog, and that's just it.
That's one corn dog.
Hopefully, I mean, I didn't like. Yeah, who drew the short straw this time? Link. Except you
I'm fine with it. I've had plenty of time.
Yeah, but you know, I
The
am.
one that needs an a episode next time.
Who's that?
Adam.
Adam? Yeah, Adam needs an episode next time. He's gotten the short straw, I think.
An A.
All right.
I-
And Harry.
I just
Actually,
tried-
I think
I
Harry
just-
too. Harry's been short strawed a little bit too. So.
I just try to have like quick, tight scenes so that
And-
the spotlight can continually move.
Yeah, and we had a couple of we had the sprawling thing with Ghost Girl and Harry. I want everybody to understand that I do try my damnedest to make sure everybody gets. It's just that sometimes I just kind of got to go with what's really working or kicking off or whatever, or playing all the way through. All right, so all right, guys. Now I'm going to hang up. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks very much for such a fun game. I'll talk to you guys later.
Cool. Thanks you.
Good night.
All right, thanks.